there, beautiful earth angels. Elvia Rowe of angelsteach.com. Hello, 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 and happy May. I am doing things a little bit differently this month. I had all kinds of plans, people. I was going to go on a field trip. I have been converting home movies from VHS to digital, and I was going to take clips of those to use, which would be so much fun. Except the technology wasn't working. And I don't know about you, but I feel like my phone does when there are too many apps open. Like sometimes, seriously, I'll go to close my apps and I've actually started to count them because I'll get up to like 31, 32, 33. Oh my God, I've had 33 apps open. And I kind of feel like that the last few weeks. Peter's changing jobs, just house projects, things going on with family, and a lot of apps open. So much going on in the world, of course, too. So keeping it simple and going analog with old style, regular old cards. They always work. I do want to just say before we get to the cards that the whole reason that I love to use other mediums, the field trips, the photos, and that sort of thing, is because I want you to really know that the angels are with you and to really feel them in everyday life. And when we have tools like this that are so incredible, these are great tools, they also can create a layer of separation between you and your angels. They can create this idea that we can't see the angels or smell the angels or hear the angels in just everyday life. And we can. And that's kind of my whole gig here. So just remember that. And it's time to choose 1, 2, or 3. It's a gorgeous day here, isn't it? I just had to do this outside because it's magnificent. All right. So, unlike when I have chosen things ahead of time, I don't know what cards are going to come forward. So, for those of you who chose number 1, this is your card. And this is, by the way, I showed you the cover, but this is the Tree Angel Oracle deck by Fred Hagenerder, illustrated by Anne Hang, and I'm sure I butchered that name, but it's a beautiful deck. The Tree Angel Oracle deck. All right. So for you number 1 folks, have a listen to the birds too. It's always fun to hear them sort of accenting the messages that come through. All right. So it feels like there's 2 cards stuck together, but there are not. Okay. There are not. So the card that came forward for you, number 1, people, is Walnut. So have a look at that card and just notice what you pick up. I'm going to look at it myself in a second, but I really encourage you to have a look at what you notice in the image, how you feel in your body, either emotionally, physically, or all of that. Anything you happen to notice with your hearing sense, and just what you know when you look at it. So when I look at her, she is very balanced. There's this triangle between the walnuts that she's holding. It's almost like the oh gosh, I should remember, but I don't. The Justice statue, the balanced scales, and she's weighing her options. In a truck, cement truck actually. So the truck is really showing me that, this can feel like work at times, and that's okay. It's okay for it to feel like work at times, but this is about balancing your options and about centering with spirit as you do that. So there's this triangle that's actually a very stable form when it's situated like this, as it is. So it's about balance, it's about weighing your options. It really feels to me like you number 2, and I keep saying that, you number 1 people have 2 choices. in front of you. That's what this is. You're weighing your options. Should I do this or should I do this? And when we surrender that, and I've just been through this with the whole what do I do about the video situation, when we surrender it and understand that in truth there is only one option that our angels are leading us towards, it totally simplifies things and it takes all that struggle out of the equation. So if you are trying to decide, do I do this or do I do this, or maybe there's even more than two options, but the bottom line here for number one, folks, the walnut tree, is centering in the truth that at any given time there is only one good choice to make, one guided choice, I should say, one guided choice. And when we remember that, and believe me, this is something I have to remind myself every day, because the ego is a powerful force. But when we remember, we surrender to our guidance, it simplifies things so beautifully. The answers are always there. We just have to stop, let go of the struggle, and listen for the one right answer, the one right option. All right. So now on to number two, folks. It's interesting how that was slipping in. Definitely part of that whole too many options, too many apps open. All right, so for you number two, folks, interesting, because the card actually came from the bottom of the deck, the last card, and it's the large tree. And once again, just notice what you yourself, because you're going to be picking up messages. I'm going to be giving you a message here, but you're already picking it up. So what are you seeing? What are you hearing? What are you feeling when you look at this? Whatever that is for you. And what do you just know? And when I look at this image, I have to say there's a little bit, because I'm being honest here, there's a little bit of that's a little bit of a creepy image. And I'm sure it's beautiful when I take my glasses off. I'm going to think, why did I feel that way? But when I first look at it, there's a little bit of a zombie-like feel to the woman in this image. And I'm wondering what she has to do with a large tree. What I'm hearing is that, and I also don't remember very well what large trees look like, but what I am feeling as I look at her is that she's being told what makes her happy. She's being told what makes her her, and how she is defined. Because while she has this smile on her face, there's an emptiness to it that even when I take my glasses off, I can't get beyond it. You know, she's looking at this star, which is her authority, as opposed to looking inside for what she knows to be her truth. So for you number two, folks, this is really about understanding for yourself what it is that defines you, what makes you happy. What is your authority, not out there, but in here? What makes you whole? I'm hearing the angels sing as I say that. And okay. I just noticed this. It's interesting. So as you read a card, and I'm sure a lot of you guys already know this, it sort of evolves, like something that you didn't notice before, you suddenly are like, oh, so that's there too. There are these other figures dancing here in the distance. And what that feels to me like is that, or the message really is that once you realize this, it's that everything that makes you happy is what makes you happy in here first and foremost. It's really a cause for celebration, because that energy just grows and it continues to expand. So that spirit of dance, which can feel contrary to the world that we're living in, especially right now, it's just it's a lot. I don't have to tell you that, I know. But the more that each of us can tap into this, not what somebody else is telling us to be, and what truly makes this celebrate and expand and grow and feel empowered, it just becomes contagious. So the more of us that are doing that, it really creates significant change, which I get. It can feel like we're in the face of change that's impossible to overcome, and yet I do believe that we can. All right, angels, anything else? Just a little wink here. It does feel like there's sort of angel-y kind of stuff going on here in the blue up there. Okay. Finally, for you number 3 folks, your card is almost at the end of the deck. I want to go back to that, actually. I'm going to go back to that in a minute, because this was the second to last card, so there's still emphasis on end of the deck. Scots pine. So this is definitely a male. So the walnut tree was a woman. The larch tree was a woman. This is a male, the Scotch pine, and he's standing next to that pine. Once again, just notice what you see, how you feel, what you hear, and what you just know when you look at this. There's real centering. There's real alignment. It's taking me a minute to get the message, and as I'm hearing all the birds around because it's quiet with the traffic at the moment. We are of the earth. Which sounds a little bit like, well, yeah, but the message here for you number 3 people is to get outside. You know, this guy is almost inseparable from the pine tree. He's one with it. And the pine tree is lit up. He's lit up. There's just this oneness, this coming together. And honestly, my ego is like, oh, there's got to be more to this message other than get outside. And I'm hearing a strong no. I was actually at my doctor's this morning for my annual physical, and we were talking about what a gorgeous day it is because we've had some rain, or it's going to be a rainy weekend, blah, blah, blah. And she was saying how she just counts the days until the weather gets to be a certain temperature and we can be outside, and she loves being in the sun, and just, you know, it can be easy to be sort of scared to be outside in some ways because there's ticks and there's sun that can damage our skin and give us skin cancer and all of that. And yet it's medicine to be outdoors. So for you number 3 people, there is so much emphasis on the medicinal aspect of being outdoors in whatever way feels safe for you. I'm not suggesting you go lie. I'm not going to lie in the pasture out there. No. I know there's ticks out there. I had enough of that. But do what feels safe for you and what feels right for you. Get some fresh air. Get some sunshine. Just be out and feel the breeze. Listen to the birds. Smell the flowers. There's a bush over there that's just, it's not lilacs. I always forget what it is, but it's just so fragrant, so beautiful. A lot of emphasis on that for you number 3 folks. So back to that bit about the second card being at the end and the third card being second to the end before we wrap up here. There's a lot of transition right now. There's a lot of, I know in our lives, it's just random things that are just ending. And that's always, and I think this is really a reminder that nature really does abhor a vacuum. So whenever there are endings, there are beginnings by definition. So just remember that, you know, as you see and experience transitions in your life happening, that it's making way for goodness that will just inevitably follow. So cycles, transitions, goodness happening. So I'm just tuning in to see if there's anything else. And the angels are saying, no, just really emphasizing to you guys to not swirl and twirl and tie yourself up as I did around this video here today. Actually, the last couple of days, I've been really trying to get these little video clips. Again, I was going to take a field trip. That will come when it's time. Keep it simple. There's so many complicated aspects of life right now, and our hearts are all doing so much processing and so much healing, and it's the simpler that you can keep it, the easier you can be on yourself, the gentler that you can be on yourself, the better. So with that, so much love to each and every one of you. Happy May. Be well. I'll see you again soon.